EB is in Lower Manhattan with details. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. This really is one of these can you believe it stories. The whole thing was actually a photo shoot with an Air Force One look-alike, and for a photo backdrop, the Statue of Liberty that's behind me and the buildings of Lower Manhattan around Ground Zero. The problem was New Yorkers didn't know about it, and so hundreds, if not thousands, looked up in the sky and were shaken to their bones. It was cell phone video that would soon go viral. Frightened citizens from Lower Manhattan to Jersey City racing away from what they thought was a new disaster. They could see a 747 overhead, trailed by an F-16 jet. They could hear the roar of the engines. Who wouldn't think of that other terrible sunlit day and now think, can it be happening again?
Oh my God.
A few blocks from Ground Zero, Samira Atash saw the same thing from her apartment window and grabbed her camera.
Oh my God, that's not normal.
To her eye and to scores of others who shot still photos, the sight of that low-flying 747 trailed by a fighter jet could only mean bad news.
I thought it was a hijacking, and I thought at any moment the plane is going to crash in front of our building.
Hundreds left their office buildings, fearing the worst.
I would say it was eerily reminiscent of some of the film I've seen of 9/11. You really got that sort of scary feeling when you saw it.
But it was no disaster. The epicenter of 9/11 on a busy Monday workday was just being used as a backdrop for an FAA-approved photo shoot of the presidential backup plane. And while the president's press secretary, Robert Gibbs, said he didn't have a clue,
I don't know.
New York's mayor, Michael Bloomberg, was steaming.
First thing is I'm annoyed, furious is a better word, that I wasn't told.
Late Monday, a statement from Louis Caldera, director of the White House Military Office, saying it's clear the mission created confusion and disruption. I apologize. Well, the White House had planned a second photo shoot for next week in Washington using the iconic buildings of the nation's capital as the photo backdrop. That shoot and any others like the one that happened yesterday using the Air Force One or its backup now canceled for good. And
Mike Taibbi, thanks. Let's bring back in Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano. Janet, could you please tell us, you're in charge of Homeland Security, how would you explain how the government could have sanctioned a low-flying plane over Lower Manhattan, which of course is still having the memory of 9/11?
You know, there are a lot of questions to be answered there, and my understanding is the FAA sanctioned that, but I share that concern. I don't know how that happened, and we want to get to the bottom of that. You know, mistakes were made. Mistakes shouldn't be repeated.
Are you embarrassed that the government made this mistake, did not realize the panic this would cause in Lower Manhattan?
Well, I don't think it was the right thing to do, and it certainly wasn't intended as such. But again, we're looking into that right now. What exactly happened here?
All right, Secretary of Homeland Security Janet Napolitano, thank you so much for on both counts this morning.
You bet.